Blah. Ah!
Okay, so I recorded an entire video without audio, which was a last-minute recording idea to record because I couldn't think of a video idea for this week. So this is my backup to the backup video that I'm recording, and it's gonna have like no editing. I just need to upload. I've got a video in the works that's really cool that I'm working on that I'm really proud of, but it's not ready yet, so I've got to have something to fill the time in between. Because that's how YouTube works. So I'm just gonna show you stuff I use on my Linux computer. Because that'll take up time, and I'm just gonna not edit it, and it's gonna be great. I may throw background music, but that's probably gonna be about it. So enjoy. So some of the most commonly used programs I have are, for one thing, the terminal, which you can't see. Okay. So we're going to switch over to the desktop. The terminal. This is one of the most commonly used things I use on my computer. This is how I'm running OpenCFace. I use this thing every day, multiple times a day. It's also how I run updates for the system. So like, say if I want to upgrade my system, I'm going to open another one with my shortcut key. I can run... And that will run after my password. It will run the updates for my entire computer and everything on it. And it should be fully up to date because I think I just did it like an hour ago. So should be fine. Man, you can see it's running through. It's checking to see if there's anything. There's nothing to update. But yeah, I love my little terminal. I've modified it a little bit so that it's all black and computer nerdy-ish. With some settings and done fonts and stuff like that. But yeah, that is my most used application other than like my web browser, which is this guy, Firefox. You've seen this before. As soon as it opens, there it is. So I got Firefox, I got all my stuff. I've got nothing logged in right now because I had to reset my Firefox profile and logged me out of everything when it did that. So I've got to log back in. But I use Firefox because it came pre-installed, and also the mobile app on Android lets you use the plugins you have installed, or the add-ons. So like my ad blocker, I can have on my phone, which that's really the main reason. So I can have those sync together. That's it. So Firefox is just my main browser now. Let's see, other things I use. Kdenlive for editing. Kdenlive is my main editor. I've shown it off in a few videos before. Let's open that up real quick. This is my main editor. I've set it up to now have GPU rendering, which that video just went up last week. If you haven't seen that already, go ahead and check that out. I show you how to get GPU rendering on Linux because it's a little weird. You have to install another video editor and then just point Kdenlive to use the rendering stuff from that. It's not hard, it's just weird. But yeah, this is my video editor. I use this every week. This is how I edit my videos. I would show it off, but this is literally a video to fill time. Am I entertaining? I hope I'm entertaining. For the love of God, I had a great video planned where I read a Linux copy pasta, 2 Linux copy pastas, but in the uwu voice because it was on a post for uwu and I didn't turn the microphone on. And I hate myself because I was cracking up the entire time I'm reading it. And if I read it again, it just wouldn't be the same. It sucks. I hate that that's what happened. I seriously hate that that's what happened. It would have been so funny to do that. But it did, so I'm screwed. So that's fun. This video is literally to fill in for time. If you, it's gonna be 10 minutes long. That's it. So if you want to leave, keep playing the video and just go grab food. This video has no point. This video is just to fill for time. It's not going to be edited. I mean, it's going to be jump cuts and that's about it. And maybe some background music. But that is it. That's all it's going to have. There's going to be nothing else in the video. This is just... I screwed up twice. I forgot to write a script out for any videos this week. And I found out about that little... copy pasta thing, and I thought, oh, I'll read this. This is gonna be fucking hilarious, and I did, and it was hilarious, and I was cracking up the entire time. And then I imported the video into Kdenlive and realized that there's no audio because I never turned my microphone on. And I hate myself. It works now. I can see the bar moving. But just before I had recorded that, I had reboot my PC, which turns my mic back off. I have to turn it back on in software. And I forgot to. So yeah, that was my that was my recording day. How's everyone doing? This is actually really good practice for improv, just me coming up with stuff off the top of my head, trying to think of things to say, which is probably good for improvs on streams. I'll follow it up with a story. I don't have a story. I don't know why I said that. We'll make up a story. Stories are fun. People like stories. I mean, I like stories. That's why I watch TV shows and read books and comics and all that stuff. So I would assume other people like stories, right? We like stories, don't we? People like stories. That's how that works. Maybe I will edit this. It doesn't seem like it's gonna be too terribly long of a video. Stories, right. So I had an adventure yesterday. If you saw, I'm recording this on Thursday, so my Wednesday stream was canceled because my computer had decided to just not turn on anymore. And I went on an adventure trying to figure out why. I've got it working now, obviously, since I'm recording this video. Everything's fine. Nothing's broken. Just some stuff was acting weird because it turned off from an unexpected blackout that lasted like less than a minute. I don't know why it happened. It might have been a breaker flipped. But anyway, what was happening was that my computer was not turning on completely. So I'm just like, oh God, that's terrifying. So, I plugged out of the GPU and directly into the motherboard to see if it would just output anything and nothing. Fuck. Did it fry my GPU or something? I took the GPU out and I put in a different GPU, from my Windows PC, which I'm considering actually swapping their GPUs. The more I think about it, the GPU in my Windows PC really isn't that much louder. It's mainly the case that's louder. So I may switch those around. But I plugged that GPU in and it booted fine. Everything went back to normal and I was just like, oh no, oh God no, my GPU is shot. I can't replace that. I can't get one of those. Even with as old as this GPU is. So I was terrified, I was freaking out. I went ahead and I plugged what I assumed to be broken GPU into the Windows PC. I'm just like, well, let's just make sure and see. And the Windows PC turned on fine. So the GPU wasn't broken. So I took that GPU back out, I swapped it back in, and it wouldn't boot again. So I took the GPU back out, booted the broken PC without a GPU entirely, and it worked. Well, this is weird. Got a friend who told me to message one of their friends who helped me. And if you are watching this, you are amazing and a godsend. I'm pretty good with software, but I am pretty bad with hardware troubleshooting. So I appreciate all the help you gave me. So he started helping me out. I have a dual boot of Windows 10 on this PC as well for benchmark testing. Mostly, that's really the only reason why I have it. I don't ever boot into it on this computer. But he's familiar with benchmarking on Windows. And he's familiar with the power draws that it should be expecting on Windows and stuff. All of his stuff is referenced in Windows. So he has me do that. I run Firmark, the 3D test benchmark for GPUs on Windows. Run that while also checking Open Hardware Monitor to check the power draw to see if maybe it's the power supply unit. Nothing's weird there. Huh. So we plug in a GPU to it and we run it. There's nothing weird about it there. It's running the more powerful GPU with exactly the power that it should. So the less powerful GPU should be fine. But it's not. So we plug the GPU into on my motherboard, I have a Gen 3 PCIe slot and a Gen 2 PCIe slot. We plug it into the Gen 2 PCIe slot. And it boots. And it outputs. Okay, well maybe the motherboard is broken, except wait, no it's not, because the better graphics card was working in the Gen 3 slot fine. So it's not the motherboard. So it's not the motherboard, it's not the power supply, it's not the GPU, it's not the CPU. What is it? We can't figure out what it is. And then he decides, well now that you've booted it in the Gen 2 slot, put it back in the Gen 3 slot. I've got a hunch. I plug it back to the Gen 3 slot, I boot it up. It works. It boots like normal. Everything's fine. I'm setting everything back up. Second monitor is stuck at a 4:3 aspect ratio. Okay, that's weird. Going through the settings, I can max it out at 1600 by 900 pixels, which is like halfway between 720p and 1080p. Weird. Don't know why that's a thing. Couldn't figure out what it is. Start unplugging stuff. I'm losing my mind. I remove my NVIDIA driver. I add the NVIDIA driver back. I reboot the computer. I can't figure out what it is. I unplug my DisplayPort adapter from the computer, from the GPU, and plug it back in. I unplug the end of the HDMI cable from the monitor and plug it back in. And I'm just like, what is it? And then I go, wait. I unplug the HDMI cable from the DisplayPort adapter and I plug it back in. It's back to 1080p. This has been the weirdest situation I've ever seen with my computer. I don't know why it did what it did. I don't know if I'll ever be able to figure out why it did what it did. But all I do know now is I probably need to get a battery that I can plug into so that it can't go out from a blackout like that without properly shutting down. Anyway, that's my 10 minutes. That's the filler video. I will have an actual proper video next week. Thank you for sticking with my story and for letting me ramble for about 10 minutes. Because I didn't have a video. Appreciate it. Peace out, everybody.